Alright guys, hello. So this is the first video in the series for the full moon lunar eclipse on June 5th, 2020. Alright, right now I'm shuffling the Zodiac Oracle deck to see which sign is going to go first. So you know what card I'm going to pull because of the name on the video, but I don't know. Isn't that kind of interesting? You know, but I don't know. I'm still shuffling the cards. So we're going to see what zodiac sign is going to go first. If you haven't watched the trailer for this next series of videos, I definitely suggest watching that just so you know a little bit more about what they're going to be about, what we're going to focus on. So this is going to be for the full moon lunar eclipse on June 5th, 2020. Okay, and this means that, so the full moon is going to be in Sagittarius, okay, which is in the south node, south side, and then the sun is going to be in the north node, okay? So the earth is going to be exactly in the middle, and the sun and the moon are going to be exact opposites to each other. So it's going to create like an extra intense effect on the full moon, okay? And man, let me tell you, like this week has already been crazy. Like there's already a lot going on. I live in Chicago. There's been a lot going on in Chicago. Protests from yesterday and today. Man, so it's like, just be safe. Just be safe, you know. Full moon definitely intensifies things, so that's definitely my okay, this card just fell out, so this is the sign that we're going to do, Scorpio. Scorpio. I was doing like a little test run a couple of days ago, and Scorpio came out as well. So you guys, you're like, we're going to be first. The full moon. This is our time, right? Scorpio. I love you guys though. I have Scorpio in my chart. I'm a Scorpio moon. I'm a Scorpio Saturn and Pluto. So I have 3 placements of Scorpio, and man, let me tell you, most of my life I was feeling it. I was feeling that Scorpio energy. I still do. I'm a little bit more balanced now. I'm a little bit more in my Sagittarius element. I do apologize also. I've been kind of sick from allergies. This is like the worst time of the year for me. The wind, and Chicago is very windy, you know, so with the wind blowing, and I need to keep my windows open. It's just like, I just want that fresh air, but at the same time, it's like it's blowing in all the crap from outside. So I'm dealing with that right now. But hope everybody's doing okay. And, man, getting ready for summer. It's gonna be a crazy year. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy year. Alright, Scorpio, let's see. So this is gonna be just things to be focusing on and working on within the next couple months. Usually full moon energy kind of tends to, you tend to kind of feel it for a while, you know. And like I said, watch the trailer. With the full moon being in Sagittarius and the sun in Gemini, we're kind of shedding our skin from like old negative Sagittarian energy, like shadow energy that isn't serving us anymore, and looking towards the light. So the light in Gemini, which is like communication, establishing more solid relationships with the people that you already feel a kindred spirit with, coming a little bit more down to earth in terms of getting more involved with community and local affairs, okay, and things that are happening locally, where Sagittarius is all about like distant travel and adventure and going far away, all right? All right, so let's see what we have for Scorpio. Spiritual guidance. See, I'm telling you, you guys are just like, I'm feeling this full moon. Okay, so in the underlying energy, you have the Eight of Swords, and this is really interesting because this is Jupiter, which is the Sagittarius planet in Gemini. All right, so the Eight of Swords is all about self-imposed energy. It's kind of about like you feeling stuck, but you kind of doing it to yourself. And like you have the blindfold on, so it's almost like you're not really realizing that you're kind of doing it to yourself, and you can just take the blindfold off, take the swords out, and just kind of walk away. So maybe you're in a situation, or maybe you're kind of like overthinking things, and you feel like maybe you're stuck in a certain situation that you can't get out of, but really you can. You just kind of have to like find that inner, like that willpower. Okay. So this is the underlying energy. Okay. So whether you're stuck in whether you're feeling a little stuck where you're not really sure, which direction to take, or you feel like you're stuck within a certain like element within yourself, like you're stuck within a certain kind of energy that maybe you're comfortable with, because like the girl is holding a harp, you know, so she's kind of like just strumming the same tune, right? There's just like one string over here, so she's kind of just like plucking that one string and she's just strumming, she's hanging on to it because maybe it gives her a sense of comfort, you know. So it's kind of like strumming the same tune, you know what I mean, and being like comfortable with it because you think that all these outside forces are stopping you. So it's like you're hanging on to this idea, this feeling that's bringing you comfort because you think that you're being imposed upon. But like I said, it is self-imposed. So there, you definitely can, and like I said, it's interesting that it just so happens to be the planet Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's what this card represents, okay? And like I said, Jupiter is represented by Sagittarius, which is all about expansion and abundance and kind of like thinking in bigger picture terms, philosophical thinking. So this could be you kind of like struggling with kind of like shedding that side of you, maybe like shedding this kind of old way of being so you can come into a newer way of being in the world, okay? So your motivation, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, this is Venus in Aquarius, okay? And the Five of Swords does talk about, okay, so what I see here is that you are motivated by, there could be a cause that you want to fight for, or there could be like a, because Aquarius is all about change and reformation and progression and kind of like breaking down old ways to build new ways, but it's not like it's kind of a sneaky way of doing it, okay? It's kind of like not doing it with integrity or with honor. It's more doing it out of like spite or revenge, or you know, you kind of it's like you might believe very strongly in a cause. You might believe very strongly that you are doing something very, very, that you're making a difference and you're doing something positive, but maybe you're not being as aware of what kind of effect it's going to make. Like what, maybe you're just not thinking about like the effect that it might create, okay, in the long run. So with this as your motivation card, this is kind of like, ooh, I can see that you, okay, so you can, when we think about what's right and what's wrong, we can feel very deeply within us, this is the right thing to do, okay? And it might seem like the right thing to do, like you're fighting for something just, but maybe the way you need to go about it, you need to reevaluate the way that you're going about it, okay? Because I see your motivation right now being very like cutthroat, very like not meaning well necessarily. it not coming maybe from a place of like love, and not coming from a place of deep desire for transformation, for like total transformation. I kind of see it's very self-driven. It's driven by like anger, and it's driven by you know, the need to feel like, ha ha ha, I got you, I won. You know what I mean? It's kind of like doing it more for winning. And you just need to ask yourself if that's really what you are trying to like. Is that really your desired outcome? To have that like feeling of like, haha, I won and you lost. And, you know, the people, because it's like, these people are defeated, and maybe they weren't playing right too. They could have been playing wrong, and they could have been playing dirty also. This is kind of like a dirty war. But you're like taking that sword and you're like, ha, you know, but what was the outcome? You know what I mean? Like, let's look a little bit deeper. What was the outcome? Okay, so in your position of what you're feeling disheartened by, okay, you have the Judgment card. This is your card. This is a Pluto card, and this is all about transformation, okay? So I think that you're kind of like, I think that there's a part of you that's definitely like fearing that maybe, okay, so this is a little bit heavy. So maybe you're kind of fearing about facing yourself, okay? I think that you don't want to face yourself. I think that you don't really want to like look at the truth within you at this point in time. And you don't want to see that there is like a better way to do things, or there is like a higher way to create maybe the changes that you want to create, okay? And with this being a Pluto card, and Pluto is your guys' planet, you know, Pluto is all about transformation, and it's all about reaching that higher level of spiritual awareness and spiritual enlightenment, and just, you know, being in touch with your higher self and trusting it, and trusting your higher self, okay? So with it being in this position, it's just kind of like, I feel like that's something you're not really ready to do within you, or that's something you don't want to face, or something you're afraid to face. Of kind of like discovering just a deeper truth within you, or discovering just, you know, maybe a higher way of doing things, and a more peaceful way, a more spiritual way of doing things. You know, but this is within you already, okay? You guys own Pluto, so you guys know all about transformation. You know all about what it means to break down the old and bring out the new. You know what it means to have that power within yourself, and have that like really intense energy that Pluto brings. So this is not, so this being in your like, in this position, and this is your card, maybe you're not really being yourself right now, you know? Or maybe it's kind of like, okay, you're so familiar with this kind of energy, with going through constant like deaths, almost like ego deaths, and maybe right now you're just kind of like, I don't want to deal with that right now. I just want to like, I'm feeling this, and this is what I want to go towards, you know. Okay, let's look at the next card. As far as outside influences, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a Virgo card. So these are your outside influences. So this is really interesting to me. So maybe there could be a person in your life that's maybe coming towards you, and maybe trying to help you financially, or help you secure a job, or like make an offer to you in terms of like a project, or working together on something, okay? And Knight of Pentacles is all about, the Virgo, Knight of Pentacles is Virgo. Virgo is all about being of service to others. It's about daily routines. It's about inner health. and health, okay? So, um, you know, he might want to help you. There might be a person in your life that maybe wants to help you, or you're thinking about a way to start a new project or a way to start making money, or how to, like, what you're going to do in your life at this moment in time. Okay, like, what's your next step? What's your next move in terms of an idea that you have, a way to make money? And Virgo also rules the major arcana card of the Magician. You know, they're all about manifestation. So, you know, and he is influenced by that as well. So, you know, you could be kind of also thinking about what you want to manifest, okay? But I do kind of see this more as maybe a person that's in your surroundings, that's in your world, who is, you know, a very steady, kind of slow moving person, but he does take action, and he does take action towards a certain goal and towards a desired outcome. So that could be happening in your life right now as well, okay? And for your advice card, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is another Virgo card. Okay, this is, oh my God, this is Mercury in Virgo. I have to think about it for a second. This is Mercury in Virgo, and this is like all about completion and satisfaction, and not just like, for the most part, in a material way. So it is about like legacy, leaving a legacy behind. It's about family as well, but also more specifically about what it is that you consider success. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get married and have kids. But what is your definition of success? Okay, so I feel like with this, as you're in your advice position, that's kind of exactly what the universe is asking you to do. It's kind of like asking you to ask yourself, what is your definition of success? How do you view success? Okay, and then find the answer to that, and then go towards that. Go towards that which brings you that feeling like, I feel successful within myself. I feel successful in my life. I feel successful with what I have created, with the legacy I have left behind. So think about that. Like, think about think about the bigger picture, and then start taking action towards it. All right. So this is something this is your focus. This is what you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on this Ten of Pentacles, and this is the end of the line with Pentacles. This is the 10 is the last card, okay, in the minor arcana, before the court card. So this is like reaching that end, and reaching kind of like that moment where either you undergo another transformation, or you're just kind of like, okay, I have reached my destination. Okay, so that is what you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on what you view as success within yourself and in your life. Okay. So the best way to move forward from your worries, you have the Six of Swords, and this is another Aquarius card. Okay, you have a lot of Aquarius. You have Virgo in here. You have your own card as well. Six of Swords is it's actually another Mercury card. Okay, so we do see a lot of that communication element coming through that I was talking about in terms of what Gemini rules. And Gemini rules the planet of Mercury. And Mercury is all about communication. It's all about establishing a firmer sense of community, and, you know, firmer relationships. Finding that kindred spirit and establishing like a deeper level of communication with those people, communicating with the world, knowing what you want to communicate with the world, knowing what you want to say to the world, knowing what you want to communicate in your work and with others, okay? And that's what air energy is all about, okay? And that's what sword energy is all about. It's about the intellect. So the Six of Swords, this is Mercury in Aquarius, okay? And Aquarius, like I said before, is just all about reformation. It's kind of about looking towards the future. What do you want in the future? What do you want to change? What do you want to see break down and rebuild? What kind of society, what kind of government, what kind of world do you want to live in? It's about social, they're all about social change, and just, Aquarius is in that house of ruling social dynamics and change and the future thinking and progressive ideas, okay? So, but this card in particular, Six of Swords, it's about moving to calmer waters, okay? It's about walking away from something that's like burning, something that is not serving you, something where it's like, this is not going to help. This situation is not going to take me where I need to go, so I'm going to go over here. So they're crossing over the waters and they're going to a safer place. So the best way to move forward from your worries, what the card is saying is to, you don't have to like let go of your beliefs. You don't have to let go of what you think and what you feel and what you believe and what you want to communicate. They still have their swords in this boat. Okay, they're taking those swords with them, but they're moving to calmer waters. They're going somewhere where they know that their voices will be heard. Okay? They're going somewhere where they know their voices will be heard. And they're starting something new. They're starting things in a new way. They're starting down a new path. All right? Best way to move forward and think in a positive light. You have the Empress card. And this is the second major arcana card that came off of your judgment. And Empress card is ruled by Venus. It's the planet, it's the zodiac signs of Taurus and Libra. And the Empress card is all about finding beauty in life, finding beauty and joy in the things that you have around you, finding beauty and joy in the earth, finding the joy in love, okay, love, and truth and beauty, and just like, you know, seeing the beautiful in things, seeing that side of life, okay? So what I'm seeing is that, you know, start to appreciate and be grateful and like really enjoy what you have in your life that brings you pleasure. What brings you pleasure? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? I'm just like looking at my camera, and like the shadows behind me are just like so bizarre, and the sun is right out there, so it's just really interesting because it's casting like a really interesting kind of light in my bedroom. Anyway, yeah, so just like do what makes you like be around the things that bring you joy and that make you happy and that make you feel good, and open yourself up to love, because love, that is what is going to feed your soul towards a higher purpose and towards doing things for the greater good in a beautiful way. I hope that makes sense. All right. This is important. Now, as your final outcome, this is what I was laughing at in the beginning of the reading. You have the moon. It's almost like... There's the moon card. This is a Pisces card. Cancer rules the moon, but it's a Pisces card. I think that you're going to think about it. Like, you're going to follow your intuition. If this is your final outcome, like let's say you're considering everything, you're taking things in, you're taking in, everything that is being offered to you, and you're going to think about it. That's how I see this. You're going to think about it. You're going to go deep within, but you're going to follow your own intuition. Okay? You're going to follow your own intuition. You're going to follow... I see this as good. I do. I see this as a good outcome, having the moon card, because we are entering a lunar eclipse, and the best way to know what's going on and how the full moon does affect energies around you, is to be the moon, right? It's kind of like to embrace the moon, embrace that energy. So this is a good thing to me, okay? I feel like you guys are all right. You guys will be good. You're on the right track. you know, you're gonna get in touch with your intuition. You're gonna follow your intuition. Okay. You're gonna follow that inner compass. That inner compass. All right. All right. So Scorpio, that's what I have for you. Number 1, first on this list. Have a great day. Enjoy the full moon that's coming up. We'll see you soon. All right. Bye-bye.